What's up, y'all? Welcome back to A Crystal Addiction. If you're new to my channel, I'm Crystal. Guys, I feel like I've been gone for a long time, and I know it's only been a week. Oh my God. Y'all, I've been eating too much, man. I'm starting to feel this shit in a bad way. I'm gonna have to do something. And yeah, I told my husband we should all do a challenge next week who cannot eat anything sugary. So we gonna see who can do that shit. We gonna see if I can do that shit, because that, oh God. Anyway, what's up, y'all? You know what I say in the beginning of my videos? Thumbs up, thumbs down. There's a subscribe. If you think my video is worth shit and you're new, share it. My videos are this particular videos that I've been doing. It's about me sharing my life and my past life of BS, CPS, drugs, everything you could think of. But as you can see, I'm here telling you the story. So apparently I recovered and did not go to prison. So anyway, what else do I need to say that I haven't said? Y'all, I feel so lost. Plus I've been drinking mimosas. I ain't had a lot of it, but I have. And I'm a little tired. I just went to try to finish up Christmas shopping and I'm still not done. I keep forgetting about a few more people. So anyway, thank you. And thank you for being loyal and waiting for my videos. And yes, you girls, I heard you. You don't want no more 10-minute shit. I think I was just lazy last week. So I won't give you no 10-minute shit today, okay? You little nosy ass people. Anyway, hi you guys. You know I love you. What's up? So we left off last week. And last week I told you guys I was going to do, the next video was going to be my evil plan to get my ex-husband. But, you know, like I said, it's been a while. It's been some years, okay? This shit happened from the 80s, in the 80s to the 90s. So before I even met my ex-husband, you know, like I said, my children was living with what name did we call her? We called her, we had a name for her, and I can't even remember the name that we gave her last week, but whatever, the grandma. Anyway, so she had the kids, of course, so I would always keep up with my visits. So that was something I always kept up with, no matter how high I was. But I kind of wasn't wanting to be so high. I always wanted to be coherent, you know. So that's why I started mixing cocaine with heroin, because I wanted to be coherent. I would see people just like nod out and wake up, and it's like, I didn't even like that look. Like you really couldn't tell I was high off of anything unless you just saw me do the shit. Other than that, you wouldn't know. My mother can attest to that shit. So anyway, at some point, you know, with the court system, once they're with family members, then you, for myself, were called back into court. I think it was either every 3 or every 6 months to, you know, to do a new assessment, see if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which I wasn't. You know, as far as those parenting classes, I wasn't going to go back to that shit. I wasn't going to do it. So I kept up with my visits, and I kind of backed off, kind of. And the reason I did that was I knew the donor was going to be out like maybe within 9 months, 9 to 10 months. And I want to say that was either 90 or 91 or 92. Like I said, you got to bear with me on dates and times, because it was a long time ago, and I was high, okay? You know I was high. If I got up every morning and shot a speedball and was on meth and weed, you're lucky I remember the shit that I'm remembering right now. Like, no, you're lucky I'm remembering the shit that I remember to tell you. So anyway, that's why I kind of backed off, you know. I knew where the kids were, and at that point, I'm thinking that they're safe. But at the end of the day, people, kids want to be with their mother. They don't want to be somewhere else. They want to be with their mother. And that's who they should have been with, was me. And so that's the one regret that I have in my life, but that I can never not have a regret about, is not letting drugs and anger take over all my thoughts, where I didn't go get my babies, because that was bullshit, y'all. And I have a lot of guilt behind that, and I always will. People say, well, look what you went through, you've changed. Don't matter, dude. For me, at least, it does not matter. Especially when I go visit my kids. I have 2 boys in prison. How do you not say, fuck, what did you do? I'm sorry. I'm going to not use that word so much. I'm going to not use it again after this. But yeah, it's like, how can you not feel some kind of way about that? And if you don't, I feel like I'm an asshole for not. Because that's just how it is for me. And I don't beat myself up, but I can't be at peace because of what I did not do and what I should have did. Especially for me, and I'm kind of getting off subject, but if we're going to talk about some real shit, we're going to talk about some real shit. Especially for me to, let's just say I've raised my daughter and my son. I don't like to use the step word. I didn't birth them, but she's been a part of our life since she was 1. And that's when I had my life together. But to give yourself, like, I really can't even say I was able to give myself wholeheartedly to my other kids, because the ones I didn't birth, because there was always that guilt that I was cheating my kids. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean. I felt guilty that I can be this person for them, and why couldn't I have been this person today for them long ago, and maybe they wouldn't be in the shit that they're in. And that still fucks with me. I'm sorry, it does. That I was able to be this person now and not that person back then. So yeah, there's just guilt and struggle. I don't know if there's any other parents. I don't have enough subscribers or older subscribers to really give me feedback or comment, because you know what, at the end of the day, I really don't share my videos. I don't tell a whole lot of people. It's not like I go on Instagram and say, hey, I got a video. I'm not doing any of that, because like I said, I'm not doing these videos for likes or views. I'm doing this for me. If it happens to reach out into the universe and other people see the shit, fine. But at this point, I'm just doing me and taking care of me and getting all this shit out so I can be a better person, and so that I can leave something to my kids, which is the freaking truth. How about the truth? If I don't leave them anything else, they'll be able to see this shit one day and know the truth, and that's it. I think I'm gonna fix this light. I feel like it's too light. So anyway, before I even met my ex-husband, my mother tried to, once the kids were settled with the grandmother, the grandparents, my mother, she got me a car. She came down here and she surprised me, and she bought me a little wagon Volvo, cutest little beige car. I love that little car. So she's like, here, I'm getting you a car. She says that way you can get out there, find a job, and have transportation so I can go back and forth and see my kids, because at this point I was either getting rides or taking the bus. So she got me a car, and to get off my ass and do something. Now at this point, my mother had no idea that I was a heroin addict. She didn't know I was doing that shit, because every time she would see me, I looked normal as hell, and it was easy for me to just look normal as hell and be normal, because it made me normal. Heroin is tricky. It's a high in the beginning, but after that, it's a medicine to keep you so you're able to get up and walk around and do shit, so you don't feel like you got the damn flu, sniffling and shit with achy bones. So that's why we do that shit. That's why I did it. Let me talk about my eyes. So she gets me this car, and I love my mother, but oh my God, drug addicts, I wasn't shit. Now, I have to say, y'all, I did try. And you know what? Back then, I didn't have a hard time. Back then, you can look in the one ads. They told you how much it paid. You could come in, fill out an application, most likely get an interview on spot, and shit like that. It was different. None of that put it in through the computer and shit and hope somebody see your damn paperwork. So I remember going called this jewelry store and it was downtown. Went down to that interview. I actually got the job. They wanted me to come back the next day. I said I would. The problem is, every time I did shit like this, I had just got high, and when you get high, you have these great ideas and you have good intentions on following through, but when that next day come, I would never show up or follow through. So that was the first attempt of getting a job. So now I go to the Jack in the Box on Claremont Mesa, I think. So I go there, go to an interview, fill out the application and everything. They actually hire me. I showed up the next day, and I gotta tell you, hated that shit. They kept telling me I wasn't smiling enough, and I was working the register, so they just wanted me to smile, and it was like, oh my God, what is with all this smiling shit? So, excuse me. So by my lunchtime, my ass was gone. I didn't come back. I went for a break and I broke the hell off. I got in my car. I left because in my mind, I made more money hustling and doing the shit I was doing. Because the Navy dude that I told you about in my last video that looked like Homer Simpson, he was out to sea, Westpac or something. I think it was either a 3-month or a 6-month deploy. But he still kept sending me them checks, boo. He was sending me them checks, making sure that I was paying my rent to Pisces' mom. He took care of me. Bad thing about that, and he took care of me to the end. The only reason that whole thing ended is by the time he came back, Crystal was no more. Okay, she was gone. That was the type of chick I was, you know. And I'm gonna have to say, after every end of these videos, is God forgive me for what I did to that person, because I was an asshole. You was here for a minute and then you were gone, because every person in my life, you were only there for a purpose. There's no love, there's no nothing. I didn't love myself. I had too many issues. I was too broken to be in anybody's relationship at the end of the day. I needed help, and I needed rehab. I needed psych meds. I needed a lot of shit. Let's just say that. So now, as you know, I'm still living at Pisces' house, and I'm still, you know, hanging around, getting high with Pisces and my other friend. What we call her Philly, or the Filipino Philly. So at this point, Pisces and Philly, they both married their military dudes, and they were both, you know, Philly was Filipino and Pisces was black, both husbands, white men, right? So they introduced me to, I can't remember which one introduced me to my ex-husband, but he had came over with one of them, and like I said, it was so long ago I don't remember, but I remember sitting in the living room talking to this guy. He was a African American guy, maybe about 6 foot 6'2". He was a big dude, you know, not fluffy, not fat. He was just a big dude, you know, but he was really, really nice. And at this point, really wasn't into black dudes for a minute, you know, especially, you know, I just really wasn't, but he was really nice. Every day he'd call, he'd come by, you know, ask if he can come by. He was just like, he was just falling, and I was like, fuck. It was kind of crazy. But I saw that as an opportunity. I was an opportunist, found that as an opportunity. Although I liked him, there was no love, but I figured, if I get married to a military man, I will most likely be able to get my kids back a lot easier. I don't have to deal with freaking welfare. My kids will have benefits. I wouldn't have to deal with any of this shit. But what I did not do is phase him into my kid's life right away. In fact, I didn't tell him anything about my life until something just clicked up, until maybe a month, maybe about a month, because at that time my dad was able to get me a job at the shipyard. Now let me tell you how my dad got me the job at the shipyard. Now for the shipyard, you do have to take a urine test. Well, back then you just go to a place, show your ID or say who you are, you go in. Plus my uncles were bosses and managers, so they had someone go in, pee for me. That way I was able to pass the piss test. So I actually was working for a little while at the shipyard. So that kind of worked out, but I was still getting high. But I was able, I made sure every day that I had my dope money, period, so I can have my dope. Then I'd go to work. Me and Pisces both work down there. So anyway, like I said, I did not tell him anything about what was going on with my life, and tell him, I'm just not going to trust somebody like that. But the more that I talked to him and got to know him, and I asked questions, your mom, your daddy came from a 2-parent home, the parents still married. He was from Maryland, very, just manners, he would be the person the courts would look at and go, this is an upstanding person, and she's changing her life. You can't use another person to change your life. You're going to change your own life or something. Another person is not going to help you look better. But it did in a sense, but I still was getting that little sheet pulled the hell off me, because it would always uncover, baby. It would always uncover. So anyway, at some point we kept dating, and he lived over there's these apartments over strip mall, kind of, where military people live on 32nd Street, and he had his own apartment. So he asked me to move in with him, and you know what I did? I moved in with him. I got out of Pisces' house. I moved in with him, and at that time I think I loved him in a sense, but I was high. So that's what I thought. I thought I did until, well, we're not gonna get ahead of ourselves. So anyway, after that happened, I ended up introducing him to my grandmother, and my grandmother just fell in love with him. My grandmother was very good at spotting people and spotting BS. But, like I said, he was a military man, came from a good home, very respectful, very non-judgmental, and like he really, really cared and loved my blood. He would do he did anything for me. Like, it was just, I could have got this man kicked out of the military so many times with my bullshit, I really did. So there again, let me ask for forgiveness for my sins and the dumb shit I was doing. So that's how I met my ex-husband. And like I said, you guys, sometimes these stories are gonna be a little slow, but I guarantee you the story that you're gonna hear next week is gonna really blow your mind. This is when the asshole of Crystal really started to take shape and form. Like, really, the asshole me just came out full blown. The drug addict in me just came out full blown. I was a horrible person, and I definitely should have been that chick on Snap where somebody came up missing and my black ass was under the porch somewhere. Okay, because you'll hear that story next week. I don't even know what I'm gonna title the shit yet, because like I said, I have to think about where I left off and then what happened immediately after that. But like I said, met him, introduced him to my grandmother, and we'll talk about how and when we decided to get I've been doing this for 17 minutes, 20 minutes. You guys said at least 20 minutes, so let's just do 20. So anyway, moved in, met grandma, and proposal, and told him I wanted to be married, and my whole plan of wanting to get my kids back, and that's what we did. We went over, we got wedding rings, because when you're in the military, you can you can get just about freaking anything. So we went, got a wedding ring, got a band, and planned our wedding. Let me give you no more information after that. We'll tell you about that little ghetto ass wedding and the people that was supposed to be in my ghetto ass wedding. So we'll get to all that shit next week. Anyway, thank you guys for checking in, and I hope you enjoyed this crystal addiction little story time on my life. And I don't, you know what, y'all, I am so off. I don't even know what this is going to be titled, or even if I have a title, because I told you guys something last week. So I don't even know what the beginning title of this is going to be yet. I'm sorry, I'm such a scatterbrain right now, and I don't know what the title is going to be for next week. But by the time this video pops up and you see it Sunday, there'll be a title for both. Okay, I love you guys, and like I say, don't be an asshole. Have a great week, and be safe. Peace. Bye. Oh, I didn't even click. Now I'm clicking. Bye. The Grinch and I will see you next week for Getting Married and Getting High. Enjoy your work week, and like we say, don't be an asshole. Love you guys. Peace.